party people, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video for you today with the super fun Everyday Explorers Co releases for November, and I'm showing you what the releases are. So this month we have a stamp all about documenting all the things that find our way into their mailbox. We have this really fun Christmas geometric set. We have a set designed to help you create some day of the week tags, and then we have a set of prompts that are Christmas themed. I love the prompt sets that Christine keeps releasing, and this is a Christmas themed set. So I decided to use the set all about documenting Happy Mail, as well as that really fun Christmas geometric set to document receiving my December daily package. I mean, this time of year, Happy Mail is legit, right? Like, we're all shopping and we're all buying things to help us. If you do decide to do December daily, like, we're all in full-on shopping overdrive. And so I thought this stamp set would be really fun to help me document it. So one of the first things I'm doing is something that I do really often. So on this 4x6 piece of cardstock, I do have my journaling. And it is hard to see it with how bright my light is, but I have my journaling on half the cardstock, and what I did was I used a little bit of purple tape to mask off the other half of the cardstock, and I'm making a pattern with my stamp set. And this is something that I do really often. I like to use stamps as a pattern maker. You can use stamps individually. I mean, obviously they're your stamps. You can do whatever you want with them. But I really enjoy using stamps to make a pattern. So I mean, this is really edited down, guys, but I spent 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes, of arranging as many of those sentiments as I could on my one acrylic block so that it would layer off the purple tape and off the cardstock. And I'm using This is not Simon. I'm using Concord and Ninth Cranberry ink, which is a really, really deep red, to stamp my pattern. And you see I have a little bit of scratch paper in the corner. That's because I tested it before I stamped it on my journaling, so I wouldn't have to print my journaling more than once. But I tested it before I stamped it on my journaling. And I'm working on my Sizzix Stamper Secret Weapon. This has been discontinued, you guys. I'm so sorry. But it is my favorite stamping pad, especially when I'm doing things like this that I'm not doing in a MISTI. It just makes hand stamping really possible. And so I'm stamping my pattern twice right down on my cardstock. And this is why I put that purple tape down, because I wanted it to come off of the cardstock. I mean, off of like the pattern building side, but I wanted to make sure that my journaling is covered. And you're going to see a lot of my head in this video because with techniques like this, it really helps to be right over the top of what you're stamping on. And now we're going to remove that purple tape. And this is probably my favorite part of doing techniques like this, is when that tape comes off and you get that really clean reveal. Now, you'll notice this video has not been sped up at all because I do want to leave things in real time so you can see, you know, it's not hard to make pages like this. This video, raw footage was 25 minutes. So it took me 25 minutes to make the decisions that I made. I mean, I work really fast, and I try not to second guess things, but I'm really trying to figure out what I want to do with this stamp. And then I make some quick decisions. So I decide I want to do a tree, pattern with this fun geometric stamp set. So I'm using some more Concord and Ninth inks. You guys, these are my favorite inks, so you're going to see them all the time. I pulled out Evergreen, which is that dark green, and I'm stamping these fun triangles. And these triangles layer to make shapes that look like trees, only they're very like geometric and abstract. They're super fun. And then I grabbed Sprout, which is a almost lime green, and I'm matching that with the Evergreen ink. And I'm using a bunch of different acrylic blocks. I find that when you're stamping a smaller shape, it's just easier to stamp a smaller shape with a smaller block. So you see some of the triangles are a little bit too big for my 1-inch acrylic block. So when it's a triangle that's too big, I pull out my 2x3 inch acrylic block. But if it's small enough to fit on the small block, then I use the 1-inch acrylic block. And I find that that just gives me a little bit more control. So I'm, again, playing with the Sprouts and the Evergreen, using all the different triangles. This is Sorbet ink, also from Concord and Ninth, and I'm putting it right over the greens. And for a second, I thought about masking it, but then I thought it would just be really fun to let the colors do whatever they do. I mean, green and red, which is pretty close to green and orange, could create mud, but these inks I found layered over each other really nicely. And then I took that diagonal stripes pattern and stamped it in the cranberry right over top the orange. So now we're just playing with texture, playing with light and dark. And then for the final thing that I did with these trees was there's a tiny little star stamp. So I took the tiny little star stamp and put it on my tiny block, and then I'm doing with the Evergreen ink, just stamping a random pattern on the lime green part of my tree. This was just, again, I liked the texture of this stamp, and I figured since I had all the bits and pieces, I might as well use it. So now I'm using that tiny little asterisk, and I'm stamping it like a little star on the top of my tree using some Gina K Jet Black Amalgam ink. I'm not even sure why I pulled this black ink and not the other black ink that was on my desk, but I think I honestly just used it because it was on my desk. And now there's a bunch of sentiments in this particular stamp set that are designed to be layered over circles, but I thought it would just be really fun to have that be the sentiment on my 3x4 card that I'm making. So I'm using some, this is VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink. This is a black pigment ink. It is my favorite black ink, which is why I wasn't even sure why I reached for that Gina K one. Probably because it was on my desk. But this is my favorite black ink. And I stamped a little bow on top of my trees, and then I was like, you know what, this needs more stamping. And it really didn't need more stamping, but I was really enjoying stamping with this fun geometric set. So then there were these little skinny little trees, and I figured if I stamped them in black, they would just kind of go into the background. So I stamped this. There's two sets. There's a taller set and a shorter set of this, a taller stamp and a shorter stamp. So I'm taking the taller stamp and stamping every other tree, and then I took the smaller stamp and stamped every other tree. And then the last thing I did was I grabbed one of the prompts from the Christmas prompt set and I stamped it right in the bottom right corner of my card, just to add, again, a little bit more text. I like having text on my filler cards, and I feel like this is a really fun filler card. And again, I left this pretty close to real time. So you see, it's just a matter of stamping, cleaning off your stamps, changing them out. Stamping, cleaning off your stamps, changing them out. Picking a color scheme in advance. I mean, this is a pretty festive layout, so I guess it made sense that I went with red and green, but pick a color scheme in advance. I pulled out another card. This is a card I had in my stash from Ali Edwards, and then I printed another photo of my stuff all organized. Printed it so it fit in the size of that empty space on that card, because I did all my journaling already, so I didn't need to add any other story, and I figured it'd be fun to add another photo to this layout. And then all I do is add some embellishments. So I have a few things on my desk from Ali Edwards. I mean, I always have Ali Edwards stuff on my desk. This was particularly from the December Stories by the Month kit, the physical December Story by the Month kit, and I just added a cardstock banner, and then I add some chipboard. I added a chipboard banner, and then I added some cardstock star stickers. I said that all backwards. So it's a chipboard banner and then cardstock star stickers, and I add the chipboard banner to the giant photo of my December daily order when it arrived, and then I add some cardstock stars on both sides of my page. And this is just a really easy way to tie a layout together by repeating some elements. And then from here, all I do is slide it into the pockets, and that completes the layout. So I hope you enjoyed watching me put this quick page together. Don't forget, you can head over to Everyday Explorers Co. to snag some of the goodies that you saw in this video if you are interested. I think the November release is super fun. Anything holiday gets me, but this geometric build your own tree stamp set was really fun. So I'll have my link in the description box if you choose to support me, and that's all I have for you today. So till next time, keep it crafty and have the very best day, and I'll see you around. Bye!